Hello, epic learners. Today we are going to begin the new series on understanding ourselves and the children we work with. I am a teacher trainer. I work with teachers. I also work with parents. So we begin to enjoy the parenthood and also the teaching so we can make a great impact on children being themselves, respecting who they want to be and how they want to be, and we as adults understanding their needs and requirements to support their growth. Right? So I predominantly work with the Waldorf principles suggested by Rudolf Steiner, where the child development is divided into 7 year cycles, the first one being from birth till age 7, and then from 7 to 14, and then 14 to 21, before we become holistic, complete, happy individuals, provided the foundations are laid out properly. These days we are facing a lot of challenges as parents, as teachers, because children are exposed to a lot of things, so are adults, right? And we are busy with our own things, and we don't have as much time to work or observe children during their developmental stages. Um, Compared to when I was raised, I don't think my mother or parents in general paid a lot of attention to my growth, but somehow the entire community was kind of looking after me. We weren't very monitored. Games were not planned for us. We were not held back in the homes. Um, we did not even study very much. We did not prepare for the exams as much. But in the large scheme of things, we turned out fairly successful. Many of us, we found a way out of leading a fairly good, happy life, which is kind of difficult for children in today's age because there is no sense of community. Everyone is busy with their own things. Um, Families have become more nuclear in nature, and the expenses have increased so much that there is a need for two income families. So, and there is also a demand from the education system that we need to be at certain level, uh, having scored certain number of marks to be able to get into a good college or to get a good education. So it becomes very difficult for us to um, manage, balance, be neutral in this kind of competitive world. However, uh, there is definitely a need for this being neutral, being balanced more than ever before. Um, it's not a very great effort that we need to put into, but it's definitely a consistent effort, a daily connection with ourselves and with the children we work with. And being aware of that, even if it is only for a few moments every day, that will take us a long way, much better than not being present to it at all. So we begin with looking at different aspects of addressing or understanding children, um, and through that understanding ourselves. I think that's much more important for me to understand myself so I will be able to understand someone else. There are lots of things, and I typically tend to judge or expect people to fit into the framework that I have developed. Based on my culture, based on my background, my family, the city I live in, the conditions I grew up in, I have a certain framework. And anyone who does not fit into that framework, we tend to negate them or judge them or ridicule them or compare or do some sort of things, which is typically a waste of energy. However, the entire system is kind of in some form or the other, um, in different scales, we kind of are involved in it. So if you can take a step back from it and accept people for who they are, the way they are, allow them to be, and allow myself to be the way I am, rather than operating out of fear of pleasing people, fitting into the society, etc. Right? So my effort is going to be predominantly working with becoming aware of who I am, what are my interests, and I'm going to be sharing with you all um, many of my own experiences of having gone through this in my last 50 years of journey, and hope that it will ring a bell, resonate with someone out there, and even if a few people out there get benefited, my mission is accomplished. I do not want anyone to suffer the way I suffered just because of the belief system that I held on based on my limited experiences. I hope I can do it justice. I welcome your participation, your comments, and let's understand that these are purely my opinions, my experiences, and doesn't in any way try to um, reflect on or judge anyone else in that matter. Come on board and we'll explore different aspects of myself and yourself.